Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado.
Because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nathan.
And I'm Alicia?
Or something like that.
I think we may have gotten that wrong.
Flip that, reverse it.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 4 of our Adventures and Mousecapades.
Yes. Thank you to everybody who's been listening. It's been great to see and the positive feedback. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. We're doing a thing.
And it's fun for us too.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today, we are actually going to be talking about Disney Cruise Line, DCL.
Yes.
Because we love it so much, and we could talk, well, I could definitely, for hours on end, just about the experiences, how much we love it, the ships, even though we've only been on 2 of them. No, we've been on 3 of them, sorry.
Yeah.
And just everything that entails.
The Mickey boat is a magical place.
The Mickey boat is a magical place.
It is one of our happy places.
It is, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
One of our happy places. Very much so.
Awesome. So, Alicia, how do you want to kind of dive in? You want to give us a quick what is Disney Cruise Line?
Disney Cruise Line is Disney's ships that you could take cruises on. That was very grammatically poor. I apologize. Disney Cruise Line is Disney Cruise Line. It's currently a fleet of 4 ships where you can take cruises and itineraries anywhere from 2 nights to, I think the longest they have is 14 or 15 nights.
Yeah.
All over the world, all over the place. We've gone on a couple of them. We haven't done any overseas itineraries, but we just wanted to give you guys a quick overview, rundown of what Disney offers for cruises.
Yeah. And when she says we've been on a couple of them, what she really means is we've been on a bunch of cruises and several itineraries. We just haven't hit our Grand Slam yet.
Yeah.
Which, for those of you who are uninitiated, a Grand Slam is having taken a cruise on every single Disney ship. We're 3 of 4 at the moment.
I don't know that we will actually ever do a Grand Slam, just because one of the ships, the itineraries, I am not interested in at all.
We'll see what happens over time.
Yeah.
And as the fleet grows and changes, if they change things around, we'll maybe get a chance to punch that card.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, Alicia, when did Disney Cruise Line become a thing?
Well, Disney Cruise Line started way back when they had something set up with the big red boat where they had their own like Disney themed, like Mickey came on the boats or something like that.
Right.
But the first ship, the Disney Magic, the first Disney ship came out or had its maiden voyage in 1998. And they had 2 ships coming out within a year of each other. So the Magic came out in 98 and the Wonder came out in 99.
And you almost went on the Magic on its second or third? Like it was early, right?
Yes. I was in college and my grandparents had a family reunion and had everybody join in on the cruise. And I had, unfortunately, a professor who would not let me take a final early or late. So I had to miss a family vacation because of college. Yep. Yeah, that would have been, I think, on the Magic. It was 98, sounds right. Yeah. A sigh. Yes. So, yes, all my family got to go on a Disney cruise before I did.
It's okay. We've successfully lapped them.
It's not a competition.
It's a competition.
No, it's not.
All right, so we've got the Magic and the Wonder. Mm-hmm. And then what happened?
And then those were going on for a while and were very, very successful. And Disney said, oh, hey, maybe we can add some more to the mix. It took them a while. The Dream and the Fantasy came out in 2011 and 2012, respectively, and they were larger boats.
Got it.
The capacity of the Magic and the Wonder was smaller. I'm trying to find my notes, but I have them someplace else. I know those are small. The Dream and the Fantasy can fit around 4,000 4,000 people, I believe.
I think the Magic and the Wonder are about 2,700.
Okay.
If I remember scanning through the notes earlier.
Yeah, capacity for Magic and Wonder is 2,713.
Okay.
And the Dream and Fantasy is passenger 4,000. Yeah. And there are different classes of ships. So the Magic and the Wonder are the Magic class.
Right.
And the Dream and the Fantasy are the Dream class. And then the new ships that are coming out are going to be the Triton class.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. Yes.
So the Triton class, obviously then the first ship is the Triton.
Yeah, no, that's not how they're doing it.
Wait, what?
It is the Disney Wish.
Okay.
And I don't have capacity numbers for those, but it's about the same size as the Fantasy and the Dream.
I think it's
capacity-wise. The ships are a little bit bigger, but capacity-wise, it's the same as the Dream and the Fantasy. And the Wish comes out
June.
In June is the maiden voyage. I believe they're saying it's going to be done. They're going to be done building it sometime in February.
Yeah, they just put the engines on this week.
Yeah, we just watched a time lapse of them doing that, which is really cool to see.
So when you're on a Disney ship, do you get to like just sleep on park benches, or like how does that work?
Park benches.
I don't know.
And hub grass.
Yes. Do they have hub grass in the atrium?
Hub grass. No, they may have it up at Goofy Sports Deck on the little putt-putt area. No, there are different staterooms that you can choose to be in. They range from interior staterooms all the way up to concierge and everywhere in between. Interior staterooms, there's like two different types of staterooms. There's a regular or a deluxe, and a lot of the different stateroom types will have that, like a deluxe or a family size.
What's the difference? So you've got like standard and deluxe and family deluxe, and
basically how many people that you can fit in them. Like the interior deluxe, I think fits 3 to 4. There's an ocean view category, and there's a family size and then a regular size. They go by deluxe family ocean view or deluxe ocean view. And then veranda has a nice little balcony or a veranda that you can go out onto. And those are deluxe family ocean view veranda or deluxe ocean view veranda. The naming convention is a little long to me, but that's what they call them.
They must have borrowed somebody from Microsoft.
Yes.
We can't name anything either, so it's fine. What's the difference between ocean view and a veranda?
Ocean view is a window, a porthole window. Some of them have like a big, huge porthole that you can look outside. Some of them have 2 smaller ones, and some of the porthole windows have bench seats on them. Basically, it's a room that doesn't have a balcony.
Okay.
But there's a window where you can see outside.
Got it. Okay. And then there's concierge, you said.
Concierge is the fancy rooms. They have verandas. All of them have verandas. They don't have any interior or ocean view concierge rooms. Those are, it's first class, basically.
Hopefully not on the Titanic first class, but first class.
No, this would be, no.
Yeah.
Yes, first class. So the rooms are a little bit bigger. Concierge has their own little lounge area. You have your own concierge host. Think of it like a butler type person.
A concierge?
A concierge. Oh my gosh, yes. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And it is much pricier.
Yeah.
There are a lot of perks that you get with that too. And we'll definitely talk about, we have had the chance to go on concierge a couple of times. And we'll go over all the ins and outs of that on a future episode.
Yep, absolutely. And then concierge, not only is there a concierge lounge inside for concierge guests, but there's also a deck area outside that's sectioned off for concierge guests as well.
Like a little sun deck area.
And depending on the ship, that ranges from, a nice little seating area to a rather large seating area with hot tubs and all sorts of stuff. So lots of options.
Yes.
If you have questions about anything that we're talking about, there are tons of online resources. DisneyCruiseLine.com, like their own website, they lay all this stuff out.
Yes.
If you do a YouTube search for Disney Wonder and then, stateroom, like you get all sorts of great and okay, but lots of great walkthroughs of what these rooms look like, what some of the amenities are on the ship. In fact, YouTube in general is a great resource for not just the ships, but the parks and the hotels and resorts and all the. You can find somebody who's on YouTube who has done a review and a walkthrough of pretty much anything that Disney has. If you want to know what you're getting into before you get there.
And we have mainly done veranda rooms.
Yeah.
Like I think, Nathan, every single cruise that you have been on has been on a veranda room.
Yes.
Caitlin and I did an ocean view for her birthday just to save funds a little bit. And it just, I missed having a veranda. I know you could just go up to the deck and just sit outside, but I'm one of those people that likes to sit on the veranda and read.
We are both those people.
Yes, I am a reader. I love reading. I will have my Kindle full of books and stuff with me, and we'll just sit outside and read.
Some people don't like, on some of the itineraries that Disney has, they're just sea days where, the trip is, the boat is traveling from point A to point B, and it takes a couple days to get there. And some people are not a fan of sea days because they want to get off the ship and do stuff and all the rest of that stuff. For Alicia and I, like a sea day is bliss. It's much more relaxed. We spend some time out on the veranda reading, or frankly, just sitting there and staring off into the distance and watching the waves and the ocean and the flying fish and some dolphins and no guarantees. You may not see dolphins. You're probably going to see flying fish. But yeah, the verandas are special. And we are functional introverts. And so being up on deck with dozens of other people around you in lounge chairs is not necessarily our vibe. And so we just appreciate the privacy of having our own little deck where we can sit outside. And all the verandas have at least a couple chairs on them and a little side table. Some of the verandas have lounge recliners on them and all sorts of stuff for the bigger rooms.
Yes.
Not necessarily. You're not going to get that.
It depends on where you are on the ship, too.
True.
Some of the verandas happen to be extended verandas.
Right.
And within each one of the stateroom categories, there's another level of categories within them. Basically, where they are on the ship and what deck they are on the ship. The higher the deck and the closer that you are to midship is going to be pricier.
Right. They're more, it's more desirable.
Yeah.
Supply and demand.
Yep.
Yep.
They have a pull down bunk bed in most of the rooms. Some of them will have like the couch will flip over into a bed.
Most of them, the couch will all?
No. Most of them, the couch will flip over into a bed. Maybe all. I don't know. And there's a bunk that can be pulled down from the ceiling. Some of the rooms also have a Murphy bed that you can pull down from the wall as well, in addition to the flip bed, I believe.
And that's where you're getting the, from 3 to 4 to 5.
Yeah.
Or maybe 6?
Some of the concierge rooms fit up to 7.
Okay.
There's like 1 and 2 bedrooms on the Wonder and the Magic. The Fantasy and the Dream do not have 2 bedrooms. They have 1 bedrooms and then the Royal Suites.
Right.
Which are penthouse, basically.
Right. But for most of us, you have to understand that on a cruise ship, space is a premium. And the rooms are small. They're typically going to be smaller than your average hotel room.
Yep.
From what we've heard, we haven't cruised elsewhere. We've taken a tour of another ship. But from what we've heard and seen, the rooms on Disney are actually a little bigger than what you find elsewhere in the industry.
They also have the split bathroom, which is very nice.
Right. So explain what a split bathroom means.
Split bathroom it's like a bathroom split in half. One area will have a sink and a toilet. The other area will have a sink and the shower bath.
Got it.
They're 2 separate doors. They don't have a sharing door or anything.
Right. They're 2 little closets.
Yeah, they're 2 little closets right next to each other. It's a bathroom basically split down the middle.
But you can get 2 people getting ready to go out at the same time.
which is helpful when you have a family
absolutely
in one room.
Absolutely. Okay, so now we know where we're going to sleep at night and hang out sometimes during the day. What about mealtime? What about dinners? What are we doing? We just going wherever we want? Are we going to go eat hubgrass in the atrium? Like what's going on?
Wow, that's kind of weird. Hubgrass, huh?
I guess I have hubgrass on the brain.
There is something Disney does called rotational dining, which I absolutely love. From Disney Cruise Line website itself, rotational dining is the Disney Cruise Line way of making sure that all guests get to enjoy each of the 3 themed dining venues while on board.
Rotational dining is, I think, an awesome experience. Yeah. So when are meal times?
Meal times, there are 2 different slots you can have, basically. Main seating is at 5:45 p.m. and second seating is at 8:15 p.m.
Got it.
And you usually choose one when you book your cruise.
Okay.
Sometimes there's only one option available, but you can always call in later. Like if you get main seating and you don't want main seating, you can call in later and see if they can change it to second seating for you.
You're pretty much like, I would be surprised if you weren't able to go from main to second seating.
Yeah, it really just depends on the booking. Sometimes the website says, sorry, this is what you get, and you get it.
Yeah. The earlier you book, the more likely it is for you to get your request.
Yeah. And with rotational dining, there's 3 main restaurants and you switch which restaurant you go to each night. And sometimes you'll be in one twice in a row. It depends on the length of your cruise. Disney just want to make sure that you are hitting each one of the themed restaurants at least once during your cruise. The nice thing about rotational dining is you get a server team that follows you from restaurant to restaurant to restaurant.
And they're awesome.
They are awesome, yes. On the first night you go in for dinner, you'll be assigned a table. And that table number will be the same table number at each restaurant that you go to. And with the server team, let's see, we've got the head server who basically oversees different crews within the restaurant setting. Right. So I
think there's like 2 head servers per dining room.
Yeah.
So there's like 6 on board.
Total. Yeah.
Yeah. And they do more than just manage the crew at dinner. Like those 6 folks are the managers over all of the food and dining and drink folks on the whole ship at all the venues.
Yep. So you have the head servers, you have help me out here. I'm trying to remember what the other ones are.
You got your server.
Your server.
And then your assistant server.
Assistant server. Oh, I thought they had a fancier name than that. Maybe not.
I don't think so.
So the assistant server is mainly the one who takes your beverage orders.
Right.
And the server will take your food orders.
Right. And the assistant server usually has a little bit more time and direct interaction because the lead server, the main server, whatever you want to call that role, is going and getting like the entrees and the different food items that you've ordered and organizing that for all of their stations. And the assistant server is like drinks and refills and helping out. Mm-hmm. And they just, I don't know. We've had amazing cast members,
yes,
and servers and assistant servers and even head servers.
Yep. And the nice thing is they'll ask, if you have a drink that you really like,
yeah,
and you say like, I'd like to have a Coca-Cola to drink or whatever your drink of choice is, they will have it there at the table for you before you even show up at the restaurant every night of the cruise. If like they know that you want that one, which is always nice. And sometimes they will do that with foodstuffs as well.
Like, I don't know, just grilled cheese sandwiches maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's possible too. Like you would order, I don't know, maybe like your second or third night of a long cruise, you're like really craving a grilled cheese sandwich. Sometimes that happens. And the server's like, let me see if we can do that.
Right.
And voila, a grilled cheese sandwich will show up for you.
And it was magical.
It's magical. And I don't know, maybe on the last night of the cruise, after they keep bringing them out night after night, you get a huge platter of grilled cheese sandwiches so you can share them with other tables, people who are enviously gazing at the multitudes of grilled cheese.
So good.
And now have some too.
We should tell this story later.
Yes, we will tell it. That was from our most recent awesome cruise.
Yes.
In March of 2020.
Yes. The cruise that went
Sideways?
completely sideways. Not literally, but yeah. If you, I mean, Alicia just said it. We were on a cruise in March of 2020. Like, just imagine things going sideways.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
But
why they went sideways.
yeah. But it was, anyhow, we'll get there.
Yes.
That's a future episode. That's a teaser.
It's a teaser.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. The servers are amazing. Yes, they follow you from restaurant to restaurant. And one of the interesting things about the rotational dining is you are also assigned with other people at the table. You won't know who they are until you happen to go to dinner the first night.
Yep.
This is kind of a norm, and it is amazing. We have met wonderful
Yes.
people from our cruises.
Lifelong friends.
Yeah, lifelong friends. Just meeting them at dinner, and they'll be with you the entire cruise for dinner. Sometimes you can get a private table. Usually, we've had it a couple of times, and it's usually been on our concierge cruises.
Right.
You can request a private table from Disney. Just call the DCL line maybe a month before you go in, or month before you embark.
Yes.
It's not guaranteed though. It's a request. They may or may not be able to put you on a private table.
And if you have a larger party, the likelihood that you're going to get, other parties at your same table is lower. Like if you're a party, say you've got a couple staterooms and grandparents and you're like 6 or 7 or 8 people, like you're getting your own table with that party.
Yeah, those are multiple reservations, and you're usually linked.
Right.
And you can link reservations if you have friends that are going on the cruise too. You can link your reservations together, so you will be at the same table with them on your cruise.
Yes.
Another thing to note is dinners are multiple courses and can be around 90 minutes to 2 hours long. It's not super short dinners.
No, but they're amazing meals.
Yes.
Now, the cool thing is they will go and, if you ask or sometimes they just kind of into it and know, they'll bring your kids, like your little kids, they'll bring their food out a lot sooner. While you're still waiting for, your drinks are here and you're just enjoying a bread course or whatever. And, the kids' entrees may be starting to show up because they know the kids don't really want to sit there and listen to adults talk and gab on for hours and hours and hours. They want to get some food in. So they're super awesome about accommodating that.
Yeah. Yeah. And they'll even cut the food up. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. And if you ask for ketchup, you're getting Mickey head ketchup.
Yes. Yes. There's also something called a dine and play program. It's available during the late seating. Where the counselor from the Oceaneers Lab or club, they'll actually come into the dining rooms and take kids away to the clubs who want to go to the clubs, so they don't have to sit there forever. They can eat their meal and then go play.
Again, they don't want to listen to us gab.
Yes, exactly.
They can go have their own kid time
Exactly.
in their own special kid place that's adults away.
Yes.
Obviously, there's counselors. It's not like Lord of the Flies, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we said, there are 3 themed restaurants on each ship. And each ship has their own. There's only one restaurant that is the same throughout all 4 current ships, and that is Animator's Palette. Magic, Wonder, Dream, and Fantasy all have their own Animator's Palette.
Yep. And that's pretty cool. It's a show on the walls as animations from your favorite Disney classics and new stuff come to life.
And I believe on the Dream and the Fantasy, Crush will actually come talk to you.
I think that's right.
Yeah. I don't know if we've seen that or not.
No, I don't think it's been a long time since we've been on the Fantasy.
Yeah.
We haven't been on the Dream, and we've been on the Magic, our first cruise.
That was it.
And then Wonder.
Yeah. So on the Magic, they have Rapunzel's Royal Table. And on the Wonder, it is Tiana's Place, which we love. We will talk about Tiana's Place more later.
Yes.
On the Magic, there is Lumieres, and on the Wonder, there is Tritons. On the Dream and the Fantasy, they both have the Enchanted Garden. And on the Fantasy, they have Royal Court, and on the Dream, they have Royal Table. And there's also other dining options for dinner if you do not want to do the rotational. You can do Palo for an extra fee, Remy for an extra fee. That is only on Dream and Fantasy.
But it's so good.
So good. And there is a buffet option, Cabanas, which also has a sit-down option on some nights. And they'll say, like, on your Disney Navigator app, what nights are sit-down. Or, let's see, non-dinner dining options. There's breakfast. You could do the buffet at the Cabanas. There's room service. You can call the night before, or there's a card in your stateroom that you can fill out, a menu card that you could just hang on your door. You can do a main dining room sit down breakfast, and that's going to vary based on the day. Sometimes it'll be at like Triton's or Lumiere's. Sometimes it'll be at Animator's Palette. It rotates where they have it for the morning. There's also on the pool deck, there's a couple of places that may have like pastries or fruit wraps or stuff like that.
Yeah. So what about later in the day? Maybe, something halfway between kind of a breakfast or a lunch. Maybe, I don't know, what would you call that? Like a brunch, if you will.
Definitely not Leckfast.
No.
That'd be weird.
That would be weird.
Brunch. Brunch, Palo has brunch, and I love Palo's brunch. That is my favorite. Again, that is because it's at Palo, it is an upcharge. Remy also has a brunch, which we haven't done, and I did not know they had brunches, and I think we're going to have to try that at some point in the future.
Well, I just know what went on our list for this summer.
And Tritons and Lumieres also have a brunch option as well. For lunchtime, Cabanas has the buffet. There's always room service. There's lots of stuff available up on the pool deck.
Yep.
Pizza. There's like a hot dog hamburger grill. I'm visualizing. All I can think of is the Wonder, because that's what we've been on the most by far. There's a lot. There's a lot of stuff up on the deck. My brain just went blank.
Yeah. Pizza, burgers, fries, fried, chicken,
chicken. Oh, yes, chicken tenders and French fries. So good.
Yes. Basically, your standard
quick service
lunch
food.
fare. Yeah. It's all good stuff.
And there's always a main dining room that's open during lunch as well that you can sit down and have, like, order from a menu type thing as well.
So now we're full. We've had some food. We've had dinner or whatever. What else is there to do at night? Like, entertain me.
Entertainment there. Well, Disney always has something going on the ships. The cruise director has all sorts of fun stuff available. There's so many different shows you can see. There's just a lot of different activities. There's cooking classes. There's mixology. There is, like, you can learn to fold towel animals, towelogami.
Sure.
You can draw different characters. Like, there's somebody that'll show you how to draw different characters all throughout the cruise. You just have to check your Navigator app and see what there is. Now, for shows, there are live shows at night. Some of them are like Broadway style, and it's going to be different depending on the ship that you are on.
And I would say it's not just Broadway style, it's Broadway quality.
Yes, that's a better way to say it. Broadway quality, yes. So with us being on the Wonder the most, mainly the shows that we've seen have been from that, obviously. The Wonder started doing Frozen, a musical spectacular in 2016, and it is spectacular.
It is.
It is very well done. The cast member actors are phenomenal.
A lot of them are from Broadway.
Yeah, and just the singing is great. And just the special effects they have. Like, they have along the walls of the theater, they have projections going. It's quite nice. The Golden Mickeys is also on the Wonder, and I'm looking at a list here, and it's only on the Wonder.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
I love that show. I love the Golden Mickeys. There's a tribute, a Golden Mickey's Timeless tribute on the Dream as well.
Okay, that counts.
Yeah. Let's see. So the Wonder has the Golden Mickeys, has Frozen. It has Disney Dreams, an Enchanted Classic, and I don't remember that as well. I know they used to have a Toy Story one too. I don't think that's current anymore. Yeah, there are a lot of different shows to choose from, and if they're not having one of the Broadway style shows, then they have live entertainment on board too.
Right,
and that's just a bunch of different variety acts it goes through. They have a list of different people that come on board and do stuff.
Yeah.
There's been magicians. There's been musicians.
There's been comedians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Different variety acts.
It's variety acts. And it's fun. Lots of good stuff that always come through. And even if you're on a shorter cruise and they don't have an evening dedicated for that big theater, event, those onboard entertainers are still going to be doing, a show or two in, one of the other lounges or there's a couple other smaller venues that some of those folks will perform in as well.
Yeah. And a lot of times they'll have like a family style show, and then they'll have an after hours show too. That sounds a little suspect, but it's not, I promise. It's just a little more geared towards adults than kids humor wise.
Right. Sometimes making fun of the kids.
Yeah, sometimes making fun of the kids. We can also talk about the different nighttime spectaculars, I guess, that are on the cruise, like Pirate Night.
Yeah.
There's always a Pirate Night on the cruise where you can dress up like a pirate if you want. You don't have to. There'll be a little pirate bandana on the bed in your stateroom. Or if you want, you can wear a pirate bandana. They have a special pirate show up on the decks, and the pirates are there, and then Mickey saves the day.
Spoiler alert.
And there's fireworks.
Yeah,
fireworks are fun.
Yeah, especially at sea. I think they were the first. They still may be the only.
I don't know. Yeah, they had to get special permissions and permits and all that stuff to be able to do fireworks from the ship.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat. And there's formal nights and
Yep.
all sorts of. And again, if you don't want to dress up and be super, you don't have to go get a tuxedo.
Yeah.
I would recommend having a nice pair of slacks and a decent shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Just, be kind to others who are making more of an effort. But yeah, there's also, or pick that night to go to Cabanas. There's all sorts of things that you can do on board the ship all day and really almost well into the night.
One of the things that I like about the Wonder is they have formal night the same night that they have the Golden Mickeys.
Yes.
Which is like the award show. So you do the red, you can do the red carpet on the way to the show, all dressed up to the nines, and you have Mickey in his tux and Minnie in her beautiful white ball gown. It's really fun.
That is fun. So where do these boats go?
They go everywhere.
Yes.
They really do. I mean, from the Caribbean, they do Western and Eastern. There's a Panama Canal cruise. I'm just going to go through. There's in no particular order here.
Yeah.
These are bopping all around the world. Caribbean, Panama Canal, Baja California, Hawaiian cruises, Alaskan cruises, transatlantic cruises. They'll do Mediterranean, Greek Isles, Western or Northern Europe, Norwegian fjords, British Isles. Oh my gosh, all over the place.
So basically the Wonder likes to do, they like to put it usually on the west coast of the US. The Wonder is what does Alaska
and Hawaii
and the Hawaii
when there
runs,
are Hawaii ones and
right?
the Baja.
And they'll go out of San Diego down into Baja, to Cabo or Puerto Vallarta, and other stops down that way. The Wonder has traditionally been the one that goes through the Panama Canal.
Yep.
And so these days when the Wonder hasn't been on the West Coast, it'll sail out of, say, Galveston or New Orleans or, other places kind of down around the Gulf Coast. The Magic has been the one that almost roams the most.
Yeah.
The Magic does the transatlantic stuff. So it's over and does everything in Northern Europe and the Mediterranean. It'll have itineraries out of New York on the U.S. East Coast. Like it's kind of everywhere. And then right now, the Dream and the Fantasy are sailing out of Port Canaveral for the most part, and they're doing
Miami,
right?
Yeah.
And those two ships are what's been doing either like usually it's a 3 night, 4 night kind of cycle. With them, there's some
on
fives
the Dream,
right?
Yeah.
And there's some 2s and 5s thrown in there for variety, if you will. But pretty much the Dream is doing shorter cruises into the Caribbean. And then the Fantasy does week-long cruises into the Caribbean. Again, they're mostly 7s. There's some 6, 8, 9. There's various fluctuations. But the Dream kind of is that short haul workhorse, and the Fantasy does week-long cruises, both of those into the Caribbean.
And the Dream is the one that bounces back and forth between Port Canaveral and Miami. And it does 3 night, 4 night, 3 night, 4 night, 3 night, 4 night, back and forth.
Right.
And Fantasy is just 7 night, 7 night, 7 night, 7 night.
And then all of this is going to be thrown out the window this summer. And we're still trying to figure out exactly where everything's going to settle. And I say that's going to change because the Wish is going to come into the mix, and we're going to go from a 4-boat fleet to a 5-boat fleet. I think the biggest change that folks are speculating is that the Wonder may stay in the Pacific Ocean, and there may not be Panama Canal cruises. We'll see how that happens.
Total speculation. We have no idea.
Exactly.
But
that may be what, a change, and that they're, and then they're talking about doing more Hawaiian itineraries at the Wonder instead of sending it through the canal. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I hope they still occasionally have Panama Canal cruises.
I can't see them making money. Do they even make money on the Panama Canal cruises?
Probably not.
So I read something. This most recent Panama Canal cruise that they did had 800 people on it total,
including crew.
No, not including crew. That like the paying people, 800 people on it, which is so little.
That is incredibly small.
Yep.
Now, I think when we've done Panama twice, they've both been fairly decently booked. Like usually those Panama Canal cruises are going to be most all of the staterooms are going to be booked, but there's a lot of couples.
Yeah.
And
not as many kids because it's 2 weeks.
Right.
2 weeks. Yeah.
And it's during school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we should also talk about the special cruises that are out there. Like they have Halloween on the High Seas, which is around Halloween time, usually September to just after Halloween.
Yeah.
And then the Very Merry Time cruises, which is pretty much right after the Halloween cruises through Christmas time.
Yep. In fact, we did one of our back-to-backs. We saw them convert from regular into Halloween, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
That was cool.
One of the neat things about the Halloween on the High Seas is not only the decorations, like they put little jack-o'-lantern face stickers on the round portal windows, but they also have something called a pumpkin tree. Yeah. And it just looks like a really spooky tree. And the kids in the atrium area. And kids will come over one evening and they'll do stories and stuff, and they'll have a pumpkin seed. They plant a pumpkin seed. And the next morning, the pumpkin tree has blossomed with jack-o'-lanterns all over it. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. Disney creates such awesome things, memories. They create memories.
And they have a trick-or-treat night. All the characters have their special Halloween outfits. And there's just different Halloween time events. For the Very Merry Times, same type of thing. They decorate for Christmas time. So you have all the beautiful Christmas decorations. There's a big tree up. They have a gingerbread house in all the ships, and it smells so good. And you can make your own gingerbread too. Like you make your own gingerbread house. They have little kits for that. What else happens at Merry Time?
Santa on board.
Yeah,
I believe.
Santa's on board. I think Mrs. Claus has like a story time. And of course, the characters always have their own little outfits for Christmas time as well.
Yeah, that's fun.
And we've done both Halloween on the high seas and Very Merry Time throughout the various cruises that we've done. There are 2 other types of cruises that we have not had a chance to do.
Right.
And those are the Marvel Day at Sea and the Star Wars Day at Sea. Now, the Marvel Day at Sea, I believe, is usually on the Magic. And the Star Wars Day at Sea is usually on the Fantasy. And they do not announce which itineraries are going to have these until after opening day for prices and everything, which is usually why we haven't gone on them.
Right.
Or it's, I think, maybe the time of the year that they do them as well. So the Marvel Day at Sea, I don't have a lot of information on, but obviously it's the Marvel characters. So you'll see like Iron Man and Thor, and Spider-Man, and they'll have events geared towards the Marvel characters just for one day only.
So it's different from the Halloween cruises and Maritime because those cruises are like, there's themed stuff going on the whole cruise.
The whole cruise, yeah.
Marvel Day at Sea and Star Wars Day at Sea is as written. It's a day.
A day, yes. Right. Yep. Now, I did find some notes on the Star Wars Day at Sea, and it just seems really cool to me. I'd love to do one of these someday. Like I said, the Star Wars Day at Sea is typically on the Fantasy, and the night before the Star Wars Day at Sea, they will offer a Star Wars 101 class for beginners. Basically, it's a 30 to 45 minute recap of the entire Star Wars saga.
That's cool.
Also, Darth Vader will invade the ship the night before the Star Wars Day at Sea at around 10 p.m. in the atrium. He'll bring his stormtroopers with him to search the crowd.
That's cool.
And it does not show up on the itinerary. So you just have to know he's going to be there or just happen to be in the atrium when he shows up and freaks everybody out. Some of the things that are offered for Star Wars Day at Sea, they do have Jedi training, and you have to sign up separately for that. There's various characters that you have to sign up to see. I know right now they have that, or they had it with like Anna and Elsa and Olaf. You have to sign up ahead of time to see them. But they also have characters during pool parties on deck that'll just walk around. I have a note here to bring shiny coins or old batteries to trade with the Jawas.
Oh, that's cool.
But I've also heard that it's hard to find them too. There are special guest speakers throughout the day, and the nighttime deck party is called Summon the Force, and that's where they have the fireworks.
That's cool.
I don't know if maybe Star Wars Day at Sea takes the place of the Pirate Night.
Oh, maybe.
Possibly. I'm not sure.
Huh. So we haven't talked about like it's a Disney cruise, so it's all about the kids.
It's all about the kids. They have their own spaces.
Their own spaces.
Their own spaces. Yes, there are multiple kids clubs. There's a nursery where you can bring your youngest in. That is a paid thing. You do have to set that up ahead of time. The Oceaneer Lab and the Oceaneer Club are for ages 3 to 12. You don't generally need to book time to bring your kids in there. However, right now, because of the pandemic, you do have to book time with that. In normal times, you don't have to do that. You can just drop your kiddo off. They also have a tween club called Edge. That's for ages 11 to 14. And a teen club called Vibe for 14 to 17. And there's also something called the 18-20 club. Once your kiddo ages out, if they're between the ages of 18 and 20, they have their own events that go on. They don't have their own little space. Once you're 18, you can sit in the adults area anyway. But yeah, they have their own little like college group.
That's cool.
Events and stuff.
I hadn't heard of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a Disney ship, so it's only about the kids, right? There's nothing for adults. Like this is a question I get a lot when I say, "Oh, I love doing Disney cruises," and they're like, "It's just for kids, right?"
They are wrong.
Wrong.
Very wrong. Very wrong. There are nightclub areas, basically. I have them listed here as adult areas.
It's not that.
No, not, yeah. On the different ships, they're called different things. Like the Dream has it called the District, and the Fantasy has it called Europa. And on the Magic and Wonder, it's called After Hours. And we spend a lot of our time in the after hours area
We do.
on the ships. There is a larger club area, I guess, where they have a lot of the entertainment. The bingo happens there during the day too. And kids can go in these during the day. They have different types of events going on. But in the evening is where they have entertainment of all types, basically. There's a piano bar area. There's a pub area. The larger place we went to a lot for like game shows and whatnot is called, oh man, I'm going to mess this up. It's not Azure.
It's Azure.
It's Azure.
Sorry, we work at Microsoft.
Yeah, and it's
Azure.
Azure for Microsoft. Sorry. Yeah, and they'll have like a match your mate type game, which is hilarious. If you are on a ship and you see that they're doing a match your mate night, go to it because it is very funny. They have little dance times. They have karaoke. They have what was it called? Silent disco.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, with like headphones, and you can hear different kind of music. You can tune to different channels in your headphones, and yeah, it's fun.
Yep. And we will actually spend a lot of our time in the evenings at the piano bar area at Cadillac Lounge on the Wonder, just listening to whoever is singing and playing keys, and we will be enjoying
chocolate
friendship.
martini.
Yeah, I was gonna say friendship and chocolate martini and whatever other yumminess is there.
Yes.
There's also a pub that we will sit and play games at in the middle of the day too.
Yes.
The what is it over there? The Crown and Fin.
Yeah, on the Wonder.
Yeah. During the day they'll have trivia and stuff in there for all ages. It's fun.
Yeah, we enjoy that section of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And then, obviously, we can't go into every single port of call that the ship's going. There's too many. Great resources online, starting with DisneyCruiseLine.com. Mm-hmm. Look at your itinerary and where it's going. They have blurbs about what each port of call is about, and all of the different things you can book through Disney for port excursions. What they won't tell you is you can also go just do your own thing. Just make sure you're back on the ship by the time that they say you need to be on, because the ship will leave you. Yes,
we have seen people running to the ship because they have missed.
Yes,
they have missed it. Yep.
So just you're on your own.
If you are on a Disney excursion and it is late, they will not leave you behind.
Right.
Yeah, they will wait if it's a Disney backed excursion.
Right. So that is a benefit of doing a Disney backed excursion. Now, we've done both. We've done our own thing, and we've had really great luck with that. Most tour operators understand the time constraints that you are under. But, if there's traffic involved and you get stuck somewhere, you are rolling, to a certain degree, you're rolling the dice.
Yes.
Right. So what we can talk a little bit about is Disney's private island in the Bahamas, and called Castaway Cay. And itineraries that basically anything that's going out of Florida and hitting anywhere around the Bahamas or the Caribbean, for the most part, is going to make a stop at Castaway.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Castaway is, like Nathan said, it's Disney's private island, one of soon to be 2 private areas. They are also getting another place in the Bahamas called Lighthouse Point.
Yeah.
It's not its own private island, it's an area. They're still working on that. We don't have a lot of details on that yet, but Castaway is another one of my very happy places. I really enjoy Castaway. There are so many things to do there. They have an adults only area of the island that we have actually never been to.
Nope.
Even when we've just done cruises by ourselves, although I don't know that we've done any Caribbean or Bahamian cruises by ourselves.
I don't think we have.
That may be why. They have, at Castaway, they have a family beach. They have a snorkeling lagoon. They have a teen hideout. They have game pavilion, something called Pelican Plunge, which is like water slides and a just nice water play area. There is a sports beach where you can do volleyball or tetherball. There is a 5K run or walk that you can do. It's very first thing in the morning. You're first people off the ship if you decide to do that. There are characters throughout the day. You'll see Mickey and Minnie and Goofy and Donald in their beach gear. and you can get pictures with them. And there are private cabana rentals as well.
The cabanas are amazing.
We will try to do every single time that we can. It's pricey, but in our opinion, it's kind of worth it.
Yeah, it was. Now, what about, you're not on the ship, so do you have to go back on board to have lunch?
There are some wonderful food options. Cookies and cookies too. Good, just barbecue, beach food.
Yeah.
There's a couple bars there as well. There's a little shopping area. You can send a postcard to somebody from Castaway too. Now, it may take a while for that actually to get to its destination. I think the longest we've had was like 6 months after we sent it out or something like that.
From Castaway?
From Castaway, yeah. Sometimes it can take a while, but it's kind of a neat thing to do, just to send a postcard from Castaway. It'll have the nice little Castaway or Bohemian stamp or something like that on it.
It is international mail. You're sending mail from the Bahamas.
Yeah. They have trams to help you get places, so you don't have to walk all the way from the ship to different areas. It's still a bit of a hike in some places, though.
Yeah. And there's a watchtower that you can climb up. You can, there's stairs to get to the top, and you can see all around the island. And if you're in concierge, they have golf carts that will drive you out to wherever you need to be. If you have a cabana rental or things like that. Yeah, it's a real magical place.
Yeah.
I really love Castaway.
You can rent bikes if you want. There's snorkel gear you can get. They have, actually, we've never done it. They have things under the water. Like there's a Mickey statue. There's a Prince Eric statue under the water. And you can do like a little snorkel tour of the various stuff that they've put down there for you to find.
And there's some things you can book from outside vendors that come over too. So there's parasailing, there's like, that's jet ski rentals or
jet ski. There's glass bottom boat. I think there used to be like a stingray petting type thing too. Yeah.
There's all sorts of stuff.
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Or just sit on the beach and play in the water.
Yes.
That's fun to do too.
Or sit on the beach and read a book.
Yes. I may have done that a time or three.
So that's a real quick, well, maybe not so quick, but that's a good overview of what Disney Cruise Line's all about. Mm-hmm. And as we've alluded to, you'll hear more about our experiences on Disney Cruise as we do more trip reports coming up. In fact, the next episode that you hear will be our second cruise that we took. And that was a 7-night Eastern Caribbean cruise. Disney Cruise Line, I think we talked about it in another episode. Like, they're not the cheapest. You get what you pay for though. And it's a heck of an experience, which is why we keep going back again and again and again.
Yeah. Oh, and we should say that meals are included.
Yes.
With the exception of if you do Palo or something like that, meals are a part of your cost. So are like soft drinks during dinner and stuff. Alcohol is extra. Wine, beer, cocktails, that is extra. But the meals are your rotational dining, your lunches, all that is included in the cost of the cruise.
All those snack bars that we were talking about up on top of the ship, you want to go grab a slice of pizza. You want to get room service. Like room service, all that food is free. Now, I believe there's a delivery.
You should tip your room service people.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But you want a Mickey bar at night, a ice cream bar, order one from room service and it'll show up. Again, tip those folks. But yeah, what you don't pay for, or you don't get included with your Disney cruise is effectively your alcohol.
And coffee from the coffee bars.
Right. Yeah. We don't drink coffee, so that's never
we don't
on
think
top
about
of our brain.
Yeah.
But that's right. We are the two people in Seattle who do not drink coffee. So sorry. It helps because that way nobody asks me to make coffee because
I don't know how it's done.
You don't want to know. So I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder, we are not travel agents. And while we can offer our opinions and suggestions, we highly recommend working with a travel agent to procure your perfect vacation.
And as always, questions or suggestions, you can email us at podcast@adventuresandmousecapades.com, and you can follow us on all the social medias at Our Mousecapades. please rate and review in your podcast app to help people find us.
Yep, that's help those search algorithms get us out there and find more folks to follow. Because again, we're not making any money off this thing. We're just doing it for fun. But it would be nice to, build a community and have lots of people listening to our thoughts and dreams and aspirations and BS. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up. Thanks again for listening, and we'll be back in your ears next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Take
Talk
care.
to you later.
Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.